it could have potentially um, kept us. I mean, we were always going to be left out of the competition if we had lost this game to the Koreans. But a very important win for the Black Stars. First of all, we look at Coach Otuado's selection going into the game. I think that today was quite great. The starting lineup was very important in determining how far the Black Stars could have contained the Koreans, and the I think it was much more of a defensive setup, knowing how the Koreans would want to attack. They had not scored in their first game. They needed win to win this game, as important as we also needed to win. So to me, the Koreans came into the game firing from all angles, and we saw how they were able to bombard our goal area in the opening minutes of the game. And this is exactly how Otuado saw the Korean team, how they set up and how they wanted to approach the game. So based on the approach, you could clearly see that Otuado knew before the game. I'm proud to that he prepared adequately for how to contain the Koreans by setting up or mapping up a very defensive strategy. And one important thing about our team is the fact that the players never crack under pressure. It looks like, especially in defense, we will come to where there are some frailties, but of course, the players seem to understand themselves. They seem to understand the assignment, and they never ever crack under pressure. They are so much composed. And in the opening minutes of the game, I was quite disturbed by how many chances the Koreans were creating and how they had bombarded our goal area, very explosive manner. But our boys were able to contain them in a very, very, very professional way. Like I would say, all of them were very composed and very calm in a manner that presupposes that they had even played for years. But that was great. On the right of back, Tariq Lamptey was able to deal with the onslaught of Son. And on the left back, Gideon Mensah was also very incredible there, trying to contain the Koreans wingers, because they were possibly going to use their wings like their traditional style of play. And in the center of defense, I was quite surprised to see that there was no Alexander Jiku. But of course, because of the way and manner the team had set up, it was always going to be Ghana having our two most competent center backs. Not to say Alexander Jiku is not competent, but you could see that the understanding between Daniel Amati, who is much more robust, and of course Salisu, who also have some attacking instinct in him. Otuado was going to go for them, and with a very much focus on the bench, that in case of any difficulties, like how Jiku came in later, the coach was also going to rely on him. And we have to be very grateful that we have very competent, very, very potent center backs. All three of them are quality at this level. That's why you require. So when the game gets tough, you'll be able to come back to defend when you require to bring in one or two of them. So I saw the setup. I saw how Otuado mapped a strategy to be able to contain the Koreans, because they needed to come into the game and score first before the Black Stars settled. This is what I read from a lot of Portuguese articles after the game against Ghana. Exactly how they came in. They know that a lot of African teams do not settle early, so you need to score one or two before they settle. And that is exactly how the Koreans came into the game. They knew that the Black Stars would take a lot of time to steam up. They would take a lot of time to hit and warm themselves up into the game. So they need to score. And Otuado, knowing this, mapped up a strategy in a manner that contained them. So the first 20 minutes of the game was not for the light-hearted, very difficult first 25 minutes. But then when we started to click, it was incredible. Look at how Kudus carried the game to the Koreans. Look at how Andre Ayew worked tirelessly. And today was a masterclass, especially the first half was a Jordan Ayew masterclass. I don't know. I spoke in the morning on several platforms on the importance of Jordan Ayew to the Black Stars team. It looks like he's come under pressure. There are so many stakes for his head, and people have not been quite comfortable with him in the team. People have not been welcoming. Opinions have been very sharp and critical about Jordan Ayew, but I've always maintained that even though Jordan Ayew has not been scoring for the Black Stars and even for his club, Crystal Palace, Jordan Ayew continues to be one of the most important players in this team. One, because of his level of composure and because of the experience. The last time we played South Korea, those of you who were in Miami, the Black Stars defeated the Koreans by 4 goals to nothing, and Jordan Ayew was on target on 3 occasions. He scored a hat-trick in that game, and against the back of that was surely one of the reasons why Otuado decided to start him. Also because the Koreans are a team that traditionally operates on the wings. They operate a lot on the wings because they have a lot of sharp players who are able to cross the ball adequately and in a very dangerous manner, that if you don't have defenders who have composure and experience, you are even going to score on goals. A lot of their goals have been on the flank. So bringing in Jordan Ayew to start on the wings was a way of going to contain the sharp wingers of the Koreans. And we could see that on the 28th minute, it was Jordan Ayew who went back to clear a ball on the goal line of the Black Stars to corner. It tells you how important and what he offers in the game. Beyond scoring, he's not been scoring goals, but beyond scoring, it tells you how important and how influential he is in the team. He may not be able to deal with the level of play and how intense the game has become because of age and because of how he has been overused. But of course, the experience of Jordan Ayew and how much he offers to the team is always going to force any other coach to start him. And for this particular game, these are, to me, the 2 key reasons, because this was a player who had lost 2 balls, or say lost possession in the game against Portugal, one of them leading to goal. So how were we even going to think that the coach was going to start him? Or what was the best possible way to explain how you will start Jordan Ayew? But I think that he proved himself today. Today was a Jordan Ayew masterclass. Today he was very colossal in the first half, contributing to 2 goals, and that's enough. The inch perfect cross to Mohammed Kudus to score the second goal for the Black Stars. I think that when he performs, we need to commend him. When he doesn't, we need to criticize. But the criticisms were too sharp to the extent that Jordan Ayew himself lost confidence. And Thomas Partey was, in this game, very instrumental. I think that when you're watching the game out of emotions and passion, it's very difficult to see the performance of the players. It's very difficult to read and analyze the games while watching because of, the emotions behind, and the occasion always carries a lot of fans along. But if you rewatch the game again, you clearly see how important Thomas Partey was in this team. So the Koreans, at a point, decided to use the midfield, but it was completely blocked because of Thomas Partey. And in the first game against Portugal, despite all the criticisms, you could see that Partey was a leader in terms of passing, and accurate ones, of course, in the game. And passing doesn't mean that he needs to, create chances at the position that he is. But he's able to hold up play, and he did that like 5 times in this game. Able to hold the ball, and one simple turn is able to outwit 2 Korean defenders. And they saw how crucial he was for the team. So at a point, he was being man-mad. But Partey's partnership with Salis Abdul Samed, it's so far, to me, has been very mammoth. Salis Abdul Samed is like a steel. Long legs, runs tirelessly. And those of you who know Patrick Vieira, exactly like Patrick Vieira, runs tirelessly, goes around and doing a whole lot. But once Partey gets a ball and is able to interrelate with Salis Abdul Samed, and Partey bombs forward, you know that Ghana is going to create a chance, because anytime Partey has the ball, he doesn't take. This is what a lot of fans don't understand. Partey does not stay on the ball for more than 10 seconds. So a lot of the players around him, and those who know him very well, know that you do not need to stay on the field to receive a Thomas Partey ball. Once the ball is getting to him, you need to start running. And that's what he's been doing at Arsenal. Partey's one-touch passes is something that is able to cut like a scissor And he was very instrumental today. And if you rewatch the game and the number of passes and the twists and turns in the game, I think that he did well. We will come to where we consider the 2 goals, but this is important to emphasize that Thomas Partey in the first game created a lot of opportunities and was the one who led in terms of passing in the game. And then in the second game today, I think was very important for us as well. And Andre Ayew was very tireless too, runs a lot and leads the team like a captain. Those of you who know his reputation, I think that even when he's taking off, he doesn't seem to like it, but because of the energy and the level of play, I don't think that Andre will be able to deal with the full 90 minutes plus these new reforms of FIFA. But clearly, Andre Ayew was very tireless and he came up as a captain, was, attacking all along, coming back to defend. And this is something that we need to commend. But on the left wing as well, before I come to Mohammed Kudus, I believe that we all need to take our time for Inaki Williams. He understands his style of play. He understands the level. He understands what it means to play for the national team. That is already apparent. He's a player who understands what it means to be on this stage. He's been running a lot. His overall contribution to the Black Stars has been incredible. He's not scored yet, but you can clearly see that the only challenge for Inaki Williams is the link-up play. He doesn't seem to be well suited to our style of play. He's a striker who's played so many games in the La Liga, and those of you who watch him knows how he operates a lot of times from the wings and cuts in to score his goals for Bilbao. But because the wings are quite choked, we also have very exciting wingers, and he's had to be an arrowhead. And in most of the games that we've played, the Black Stars of Ghana have been sitting back and defending and trying to counter the opponents. So you may not be able to see how influential Inaki Williams has been. But if you are a coach or if you watch the game critically, you can see how important he is by the runs he makes, the tireless runs, opening up and creating spaces for the other players. You can see where Kudus scored from the second goal. It was Inaki Williams who had gone to the wings and opened up the play. And inside the 18-yard box, you could see that the Koreans also know him. Perhaps they've profiled all the top players in the team. And he creates a lot of space for our attackers. So kudos to him for what he did, especially to the second goal for Kudus. That was a mistake from Inaki Williams. But also, the mistake led to the goal because he was there. He was the one the ball was clearly coming to. And his miss kick led to Mohammed Kudus getting it. So I think it will take a lot of time or maybe time for Inaki Williams to be able to sync well to our style of play and get to know how Ghana switches into attack. They've probably done that, but those of you who understand football clearly very well, you do not have to, get players to play in 2 or 3 weeks and to gel so well, especially as they don't know the culture, they don't know the language. A whole lot of things come up in play. But I think that he will have some time to be able to become suitable in the formation that Otuado deploys on the field of play. But dear me, Mohammed Kudus, we have to protect that boy with everything that we have. He's a jewel. Mohammed Kudus is clearly a jewel. He was on top of the dribbling in this tournament. After the first round, he was the leader on the leaderboard of the dribblers. He had dribbled beyond what the expectations were. We know his potential. We know what Mohammed Kudus is about. But coming into this World Cup, I think that because of inexperience or something, I was even saying that Mohammed Kudus was going to warm himself into the game. But when I watched the first game against Portugal and saw that the Portuguese had clearly analyzed and profiled Mohammed Kudus to the point that there were as many as 3 players. Anytime Ghana is in attack, there were as many as 3 players around him. And the only occasions that they left Mohammed Kudus were the times that he got the ball and took it to them. He provokes, He provokes the defenders. That's the right word to use. He's very provocative, comes at you and lets you know that he'll be able to outwit you. This is something that's been a very long time. I don't know, but for those of you who have watched football for a long time, there was Abedi Pele, who was that provocative, knows his potential, knows his talent, and carries the game to opponents in a manner that was quite unbelievable. No matter who the defender is, he's going to carry the ball to you. And if you watch Abedi Pele against Tunisia and against Nigeria in Senegal 92 and against Zambia in the first game, this was the kind of performance of Abedi Pele. Takes the ball and is not afraid of any defender. That is why we have in Kudus Mohammed at this point. He does not level up any defender. He does not rate any defender. And if you have a player at that age with that potential and confidence, I think that we need to protect Kudus Mohammed. So far, so good in this tournament. 2 goals, the first time for a Ghanaian player at the World Cup. This is our 4th World Cup, and this is the first time a player is scoring 2 goals. And for the 2 games that he's played, 1 assist, a very massive game against Portugal of all teams, and 2 goals against South Korea. We've now scored in 7 consecutive World Cup games. But this victory is very vital because we go into the game against Uruguay knowing that mathematically a draw will be able to send us through depending on the results of Portugal and Uruguay tonight, or a win will be able to carry us through. And once we know that, we know the strategy, and we come under little pressure going into the game. But Mohammed Kudus, to me, has been the star man of the Ghana team. Not because I'm a Ghanaian, but the star man of the team because you watch the team shape of all our opponents so far in the games we've played. Against Portugal, against South Korea, the strategy is to limit his potential. The strategy is to limit his danger. And it tells you that he is a player that a lot of the coaches have profiled. And if we are able to get Kudus to perform at this level, I think we'll be able to go far in the tournament. He shoots, he dribbles, he runs, he's able to, his aerial ability has also improved tremendously well, and he can only come better, and kudos to him. But I think that in the second half of the game, there was so much pressure on the Black Stars. Obviously, I have always said, and those of you who have listened to me on so many platforms before the World Cup, this is what I wanted. Let the Black Stars understand that this is a new team. We are not at the level. This is what people need to understand. I knew that we were going to pass through a lot of this treachery grounds. It was going to be dangerous for us in all the games we play. And people don't understand. You don't underrate any team in this World Cup. Coming into this World Cup, we were the least ranked team. So we were already down and flat. So you do not give yourself so much confidence and raise the expectations. This is what was going to happen, obviously. Because ordinarily, it was for the pundits to say that South Korea will win against Ghana. The odds were stacked against us. So this is how you go into the game, to win, not to outplay or outperform the opponent, because these are teams that have played for so many years. And this is a team put together. Mohamed Salisu is playing only his 3rd game for Ghana or so. You understand? Inaki Williams is playing his only 2nd or 3rd game for the Black Stars. You have players in the team who have not played beyond 6 games. How many of them? 7 or 8. It is a new team that we're trying to put together. And obviously, we will find a lot of time to be able to gel. We will need a lot of time. And you can't build your team within the World Cup. It is not a place for try and error. It is not a place for trial. So we have to even commend the team. I said that any goal at this World Cup or any win it's a bonus for the Black Stars. I've consistently said this. Any win in this tournament is a bonus for the Black Stars. And so they have a win, they have 4 goals, and they have 5 goals in 2 games. That's incredible. So we do not have to put too much pressure on the team. It is a new team, the youngest team in the competition, of course. And beyond being the youngest team, it is a team that has been sharply put together, players called from different clubs to come and play at last minute. And because of the potential, because that naturally Ghanaians are talented, immense talent in stock, And that is what they've been exhibiting at this World Cup. So the pressure on the team in the games against Portugal, in the games against South Korea, are things that we should expect. If they put the pressure on us and we are able to contain them, that means that we are doing something right. And we did it against Portugal. We did it against South Korea today. We have a win at the World Cup. South Korea does not have a win yet. It doesn't mean they have a bad team. But if you do not have a strategy going into the World Cup, that's what happened for Senegal against Netherlands. They played a very important game of their life, knowing that if a draw, or even a draw could have been a massive result for them. But they were carried by the fact that they were playing a good game. The Dutch got 2 opportunities and scored. So at the World Cup level, you weigh the strength of your team, you check the weaknesses, you take them out, and you map a strategy and plan your game to get the 3 points or 1 point that you need. So I expected that we would go through a lot of torment. I knew that we would go through a lot of pressure to be able to get 3 points in this World Cup. And we've done that. It shows the grit, it shows the mettle of the team. And if we are able to put this team together for 1 or 2 years, the target will be winning the AFCON. But this is what we need to do. Go into the 3rd game against Uruguay. 1, with nothing like revenge on our minds. There is no vengeance in any cloth. We do not have to revenge against any team. Prepare and go there and plan for what you need to get out of the team. Exactly that. There is no sort of revenge. But today's result is something that we all need to be very happy of, because we won. We went to Brazil in 2014 and failed to win a single game. We've won a game now. We've scored 5 goals in 2 games. It does not happen quite often at the World Cup. It doesn't. And we need to commend the boys and still lower the expectations. If you raise the expectations, that is what bring about all this pressure. Because if you are already having the thought that Ghana is a team already on the ground, one of the least ranked teams, even if they score against us, it is understandable because we are still building the team. The defense is not an area that they've played a lot of games to be able to know themselves that much. But it was still great. I think in the second half, the Koreans carried the game to us. And I cannot round up this review without commending Lawrence Zigi. This is not a place for, commendations and expressing admiration. But I believe that from where he came from, completely out at a point by a section of the fans, with respect to the 26 players to be called and becoming the first choice, and his composure imposed even against Portugal, and today the kind of saves to keep the South Koreans at bay was commendable. Lawrence Zigi needs this confidence to be able to grow his game. He's not been particularly the man that a lot of Ghanaians want. A lot of uncomfortable and unpleasant words about him. But if he gets the opportunity at this stage, has been able to lead the team to a win at the World Cup. That's with a performance that is top level. We need to commend him. The South Korean goalkeeper conceded 3 goals. The Portuguese goalkeeper conceded 2. And Zigi has done well. We've conceded 5 goals now. But regardless of whatever has happened, we need to commend him for his show today. Top class saves in the game to keep us alive. And this is something that will help him grow his confidence. It's something that has been lacking because of the comments and criticisms of Ghanaians. But if he leads the team to a win, we need to commend him. But now, I'm sure that we all have to admit that there were some challenges in defense. Like I've mentioned, I expected a lot of this. I expected that we would go through these stages. But then, we also admit that the chase, the long searching chase for Salisu Mohammed, I call him the Rolls Royce of defenders. He's a defensive Rolls Royce. And this boy is only 23 years. I tell you what, Mohammed Salisu in the next 1 or 2 years will not be a Southampton. And touch wood for Southampton fans, this is not, out of joy or vagueness. Mohammed Salisu is a top-class defender. What? The confidence to run at the South Koreans and still stay in their goal area when the ball was seemingly lost, to wait for the salvages and kick that into the net. It's for only top class defenders to do, like the John Terry's and likes. We've seen the likes of Rudiger and all those in the competition. It's not easy for a defender to run like 100 meters to the goal area and wait for drop balls as an opportunity to score. So I have seen him in the first game, I've seen him in the second game, 3 games for the Black Stars, 2 goals, and I'm talking about how he scored against Switzerland. He waits. A lot of center backs, after running that much to the goal area, immediately they see that the ball is already lost, will run back. He waits and scans the area, waits for opportunities. And for a defender who's played 3 games for his national team with 2 goals, 1 at the World Cup, man, this is something that is unbelievable, something spectacular. And his performance says for the Black Stars have been impeccable. Mohammed Salisu is colossal. He's immense. He's massive. A massive addition to the Black Stars, and only 23 years. And I tell you what, I repeat, he may not be at Southampton. A top class will pay more than hundreds of millions of pounds to acquire him from Southampton. And Mohammed Salisu in the next year will be a player who will be capable of playing at Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, because his talent is not in doubt. His confidence is unbelievable. For his age. What he's done in this World Cup for Ghana tells me that the wait for him to finally come to the Black Stars is an important one, and we needed to do. I think that people still do not understand, saying that Lawrence Zigi has conceded 5 goals in 2 games. Yes, so you go through the other goalkeepers in the competition and check the standard or their level. How many of the goals that Lawrence Zigi has conceded in this tournament is as a result of his error? There are errors leading to goal. You face potentially, possibly, the Portuguese team, possibly, is one of the potent attacks in the world, the Portuguese national team. And we may see that today against Uruguay. The Uruguayans were not able to breach the South Korean defense with all the attacks. We did it 3 times. Sometimes I think that we need to understand football on a different level. The World Cup is a multiple of AFCONs. The pressure in the World Cup is a multiple of Champions League. Everyone in the world is watching. I understand that he's conceded 5 goals. Ghana have won 1 game with him in charge. I'm not saying that he's the best goalkeeper in the world, but Lawrence Zigi conceding 5 goals will be rated against other top-class goalkeepers in the competition, like Guillermo Ochoa and the others that we rate so high. He's not the only goalkeeper to have conceded in this tournament. A lot of them have conceded. And if you concede 3 goals against Portugal, who have had the top scorer or the best player in the Serie A, we see Ronaldo playing against you, with Bernardo Silva, with João Felix, sometimes. That's why a lot of people rate this team so high, and that is our undoing. We have to understand the level of the team. I always say that the Black Stars team is down, and if we understand that we are down and climbing, we will give ourselves a bit of time. I'm commending Zigi because he was not even the fair choice, and beyond that, he was not even considered to be part of the top 3 goalkeepers to the World Cup. He's coming, and the game today is testament of the fact that he's improved. His confidence has improved so much that we need to commend him to grow. Because if we have 3 top goalkeepers in our team in 2024, it is to the advantage of the Black Stars. Insults will not do anything for the team. So I think we need to be able to lower our expectations. You understand, and keep on commending the team. One thing I need to also emphasize, I don't know, but I'll be reading some comments, or I'll be answering some few questions in the next 5 minutes before I understand. See, you really understand football, Saddick. Great analysis. So to add changes, Kudus and cautionary grounds, we cannot afford to lose our gem. I've mentioned this. Understandably, I was very much disturbed when Kudus was taken off in the first game. To me, I still insist that was the wrong timing, taking Kudus on. We could have gotten something against the Portuguese, because they started to they got scared of him, and they had lost grip of Kudus. So in that instance, but today, I think that he had overrun, and they had carried the game to us, and we needed to defend. And I mean, we all know that clearly Kudus Mohammed is not a player that has some serious defensive strength. And when you need to defend, you have to get players who can kick them in there. So the point is that we have to understand the situations. I wasn't in this agreement of Kudus Mohammed taking off in the first game, but I completely agree with Otuado taking him off today for more defensive shields in the team against South Korea. I love you, my guy. You are the best. Mawena from Ho. Indeed, bro, Zigi has improved. Obviously, he's improved. We need to look at the Portuguese goalkeeper, Costa, who was being derided by his own fans for scoring 2 goals against him. It happens at the World Cup. Okay. Saddick, you should also let people understand that the hard work of Inaki will. That's what I'm saying. I've already mentioned that we need to stop the insults on maybe criticisms of Inaki. He puts in so much effort. He overworks. His general contribution, his work rate is incredible. Maybe you don't watch. Sometimes you need to sit back and watch the game tonight, a replay. That's what a lot of sports analysts and even coaches will do. When you watch the game, it's very difficult for you to, when you sit back after a day or after hours to rewatch, that's when you see a lot of things that that escaped your attention when you were watching, because perhaps you get carried by the occasion and all that. But Inaki Williams will come good. He will score, maybe in this tournament, he will score for Ghana very soon, but we have to understand his play. He's not gelled well with the team. He's not sinking because of, he's a new player in the team. He's a top player, but will require time. But generally, in totality, he's been very immense with his general contribution. For this tournament, teams play with more discipline and constant pressing till the last whistle. I think our team easily, of course, they have not known themselves for so much a time. But one thing that also is Ghana's weakness is the fact that we do not have the mental fortitude, and that's with a lot of African teams, to be able to stay compact for the entire duration of the game. It's something that's traditionally wrong with us. We do not have the mental fortitude to stay compact for a lot of games. We lose focus, we lose concentration. And at this level, if you do that against Brazil and other teams, hey, you are going to get rounded. But I think we need to commend the guys for what they've done. It was a good, he missed that ball for Kudus. Of course, he missed it. If Kudus had not scored, a lot of pressure would have come on Inaki. But the missed kick led to Kudus scoring. The second goal was conceded. Okay. I think I want to know, when will Ghanaians come to terms with the strength of Jordan Ayew? Whenever I talk about Jordan Ayew and Andre Ayew, one part of the people who are fanatics of Andre Ayew or Jordan don't understand or agree with me, and a part agree with me. One part, Andre Ayew has been overused from under 20, his clubs, to the Black Stars. A young player, when he was around 18 up till now, has played more than 112 games. The only player in the history of Ghana to have featured for that number of games. So clearly he's overused. But it also means his importance to the team. So he will not be able to play or last the entire duration of the game. One. if I were a coach, I would not be playing Andre Ayew for 90 minutes. But I know that I will start Andre Ayew. He brings a lot to the team. One thing, significantly and enormously, his reputation. There are players who come to the Black Stars, big names, and they don't perform. It's not easy. Andre Ayew, even without club football, like a Samuel Jan, comes to the Black Stars and deliver. You don't have a lot of players doing that. Check through the other national teams. There are big names who are underperforming. But for Andre Ayew, top scorer of Ghana at AFCON, now has 3 goals in 3 World Cups, performs very well. And he's not jittery, he's not overcome by the occasion. And these are simple details, little ones that you may not come to terms as a coach, as a fan. But as coaches, they know. They walk through the dressing room. Yes, Keylor Navas has conceded 7 goals. Is he rubbish? To those who are talking about, thank you very much for complimenting the delivery with this. So, and coaches walk in the dressing room. One of the coaches of the Black Stars told me that there were games that some of the top players in the team were jittery. You walk in the dressing room and you can clearly see that they are not fully prepared for the game. They are butterflies in their stomach. They are very jittery. They are composed because of the tension. You walk to Andre Ayew and he's the one calming them down. These are things that he got because of the early exposure and possibly because of how he was built. So these are things that you may not know or see on the field of play, but it happens. A lot of the players know what he brings to the team, but he may not be able to feature for 90 minutes. So Andre Ayew was or has been super for the team. Jordan Ayew today did what he could, and I said it. He offers much more than scoring. Patrick Vieira has said it. You will not have a player play consistently in the English Premier League and say he's rubbish. He may not be scoring. He's lost his confidence and the mojo, the touch of the spirit of touch to score the goal has been lost. It happens to a lot of players. Happens to Shevchenko. Happens to a lot of players. But then, I think that he brings a lot to the team, and that's what he did today. 2 assists in the World Cup. Yeah. It's both abused. They have heart for big games, yes. If Otuado qualified for the second round, will you consider him a failure, taking into account our criticism that he's only a trainer scout? What is a trainer scout? Well, he's not a top class coach. He's not coaching. But what is a trainer scout? He's a coach. He analyzes games. He implements them. He took us to the World Cup. So what is a trainer scout? I think that is an insult. I criticize and as intense as I can, but these things do not augur well. So what is a trainer scout? Paulo Bento is one of the top coaches in Europe, or from Europe, coaching the South Korean team. He's gotten beaten by Otuado. What is this trainer scout thing about? I think it's just a tag, a label to make him feel less. But he's a coach with Dortmund. Whether he was I don't know the type. He is a coach and the coach of Ghana. He's not a top class coach. But I won't dishonor him by saying that he's a trainer scout. What did we not call Hervé Renard? For some of you who are older enough, I've been in this industry for close to 16 years. What did we not call Hervé Renard? No, we said Hervé Renard was what? A physical trainer. And now we are chasing him. We can criticize Otuado. I do. I criticize him. I say it sometimes in your face. But we have to do that constructively. It's like being married and saying things that will mean that you are demeaning or defaming. It doesn't augur well. He's a coach, a manager for the Black Stars. You understand? So we do not have to. Those labels are only to make him feel unimportant, but it doesn't change anything. He's beaten Paulo Bento, the former Portugal national team coach. He's played against Fernando Santos, one of the top coaches, and scored 2 goals and breached their defense. So if you put that on, even if he doesn't qualify, I think that's, it's because of how the team has been hurriedly put up, but it's not because he's a poor coach. We saw his game management and how he qualified over Nigeria. We wouldn't have been here anyway with Milovan Rajevac, who is a coach. So trainer, coach, or whatever, I don't care. Where will I get the match to watch again? I think it will definitely be on TV. Otuado should stop changing Kudus. Okay, spot on, Saddick. Where will I get the match? Please comment at Zigi. Again, well, I've done that a lot. I've spent a lot of money. The players are matured. Okay, we need to shame people who disrespect the coach. No, you criticisms are welcome. We all accept criticism. Tariq Lamptey was good too. I compared him to Frank Amankwa. Yeah, for those of you who know by Reba, Frank Amankwa, 89, 90, 91, 92, very solid right back and very diminutive, just like Tariq Lamptey. He's good. I think that he got lost a bit in the dying embers of the game, not for him alone, a lot of the players, but that was a super performance. Otto should stop changing Kudus. Otuado is learning on the job. He will make mistakes, but he is adapting really well. Of course, those who have already learned the job have also lost games. I cannot hear anything. I don't know. Is he the only one who is not hearing anything? I think people are quite listening, so sorry if you are. Kudus is a national asset. Of course, Kudus is beyond the gold, diamond and cocoa. Kudus is one. Adams, to be honest, let's not forget that he works as a trainer scout, and he's a coach of Ghana. So that's what I know. On the formal list, he's a Ghana national team coach. So trainer scout, I don't know. Yes. Kudus, Tariq, Salisu, Zigi, Jordan. No cap, you one of the best analysts. Okay, I hope this will get to Otuado. Good analysis of the game. Otuado's legacy will live forever, over 10 years. So there is a reason why Otuado has decided not to extend his contract with Ghana. Yeah, because he will be going back to Dortmund. And he's so much highly rated and respected at Dortmund, for what I know, when I was in Germany, that they want to, or his ambition is to become the first black coach in the German Bundesliga, and that vision is on course. So we have to, respect him. These tags and names won't do anything. If you think that his tactics or something is not good, we know how to. But to call him names and all that, if you are employed as a driver, and because you were a trotro mate in one other car, people just want to call you a conductor because they don't respect your job. I don't think that that's good enough here. A free ban here should start playing. If we are winning games, why do we have to call for everyone to play? I have consistently preached for local players to be included in the team, but we are winning. So everybody cannot play, but I understand you. Gideon over Baba, Tariq was good. Who are the players do you see making big moves? Yes, I don't like the Ajax coach. And yeah, I've said it. I don't want Kudus Mohammed to stay at Ajax for a contract extension. His talent has now been, it exploded on the global scene. Everyone has seen what Kudus Mohammed is made of. I am not saying it. All the big tabloids and big pundits have been talking about it. I don't think that Kudus Mohammed should stay at Ajax beyond 2024, 2025. If this coach continues to stay there. Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, Bayern Munich particularly, or Dortmund will be very suitable class. And Mohamed Salisu have said will definitely move to. If Barcelona would want a long-term replacement for Jordi Alba, for Gerard Piqué, perhaps they need to come for Mohamed Salisu. Yeah. Shout out to Gideon Mensah. I don't like Otuado as a coach, but he's doing well. Okay, thank you very much. I need to wrap up here and join you again before the game against Uruguay. And I've seen that a lot of you enjoyed the live videos, and we will try as much as possible to be coming your way to analyze pre-games and preview games and review them as well. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the Black Stars of Ghana and everyone in camp. Good luck to us in the next game. I would have loved to read some